Someone said sub 1 hour. That's a little ambitious, but hey, you never know. All right, let's see. We see key at the sanctuary, piece of heart, Link's house. So not the most fruitful starts for these runners. Let's see. We see what sprites our forerunners are using. I recognize all 4 of them actually. We have the Dark Link sprite for Wayne. We have Toad. Let's do see a head, map check. I believe I saw 3 crystals with a special crystal at Easter.
And a quick bomb right off the bat there. Let's see Falcon stream from that first enemy there. So that's nice to see.
CJ Mishra, he's going to set the Houlihan room trick. This is something you don't see too often in open mode, because you usually see the keys. You see more in Key Sanity when the money's not always the most fruitful, but making sure you get this guaranteed money and can for sure scour through Kakariko without having to worry about finding extra rupees is always a good sign.
Yeah, definitely an interesting choice to go there this early, because sometimes those first few chests you have could either, have a 300 rupee thing, but Jamie's, you're just counting on having rupees right off the bat, and it's totally merit with that strategy.
Yep. We haven't seen anything else from the other checks we saw. The uncle and uncle's chest did not have anything of value. To finish off what our sprites are using, CJ Mishra on Toad. You see the Moogle sprite for Zelda, and you see the Zelda 1 for Sea Falcon. I don't think I've seen that used before in Links of the Past, so definitely.
Oh, it's a pretty trippy one.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to see Sea Falcon. He's also going to go do Houlihan. Jay Mishra and Wayne both trying to get these 50-50 bombs from south of Haunted Grove. And Zelda is the first one into the Lost Woods. You have 2 items in here. I see a bomb capacity upgrade there. I don't think we're going to go get that. And you can drop down and get 1 more item here. And it's just 20 rupees.
So nothing big going so far. Already checked quite a few locations, honestly. Let's see. I'm going for that Southwest race game here. Looks like just junk there as well.
Just arrows for there. Wayne's going to go into the library, sees 50 rupees. Also not going to get that. So yeah, we have not seen anything yet. We're 2.5 minutes in. We've opened a lot of chests, and we've seen a lot of locations. And there has been nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure Kakariko's loaded. It's what it's looking like. Pretty often it holds value. Just, well, there's the flute right off the bat.
There you go. Well, now we can activate the flute while we're here in Kakariko. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, hopefully all of our runners remember to activate it before leaving Kakariko. I know I've made that mistake before finding an early flute. Oh, there's a lantern as well.
Yep, lamp in Blind's basement. And this last chest back here will be just 50 rupees. Yeah, earlier today I almost left because the flute was in Blind's hut, and I walked right by the weather vane before activating it. And I remembered before I left Kakariko to go up and get the duck free. And we see our first sword in the back of the well there. Zelda, first one to get it. And the silver arrows. Sea Falcon, he's gonna go through this little cave here. Get guaranteed bomb drops here. And Zelda gets the blue mail off of the bottle merchant. That is 100 rupees well spent, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Not getting ripped off like you usually do from that vendor in the randomizer.
Yeah, blue mail, never a required item, but it's always very nice to have, especially early on when you're stuck on 3 hearts. Now doing the other checks of Kakariko that the others have not done yet. So while we're getting through these items, and maybe wondering if you're new to this, first off, how's that rock you've been under? Second of all, what this is Link to the Past, as you may remember as a kid, but all the item locations have been randomized. That's why it's called Link to the Past Randomizer. So interesting, between our forerunners, none of them saw what was underneath the hollow tree, which opens when you kill Agahnim.
It'll be interesting to see where the runners go next. There's actually a few pretty viable options at this point. Eastern Palace and the Front of Escape are both completely open and easily completable, especially with that lantern. There's lots of things in logic, so sure we'll see some divergence here. We already got somebody going up the mountain.
Yeah, but when you're going to go rescue the old man, Eastern actually, you could go into Eastern and do a lot of it, but you can't kill the boss, so I would probably not do Eastern right away. However, doing this, doing the dam check, doing Death Mountain, both very logical things to do. Escape is the other thing I would consider at this point, but I think I would probably do what Zelga's doing at this moment, which is completing what the normal pathing is.
Yeah, kind of a standard route to just take the south swing of the White World, and there's 300 rupees.
Waiting down to one heart. If he takes a death here, or at least he just respawn by that old man again.
Yeah, and this is just about the hardest place not to take damage, and yeah, unfortunately he gets hit by one of those random boulders, but not a big deal. Yeah, got a save point right there.
Yeah, those boulders, no matter what armor you have, they always do one heart of damage. So even though he has the blue mail, he's still taking a full heart from that thing. Alright, mini Moldorm Cave. 5 items in here. Zelda's gonna see what we get in here. We see the book. We see our first bottle, has a bee in it. Our power glove. That's pretty useful.
Okay, yeah, power glove. Opening up a quick back of escape. Quick 3 items they can get there now. And glove, you know, opening up Desert Palace. So, yeah, lots of options already right off the bat.
I didn't see if Boone went into Spectacle Rock, but I think he's going in here because he can't really check anything else up here anyway. So it doesn't really hurt to go and get it, and it's just an arrow.
Just jump.
Waiting on the Ice Rock Cave, see Jamie are going to be the first to go to the desert, and we see the mushroom hanging out on the ledge there. Now, desert is fully completable if we don't need a key off of the torch that is boots locked.
Yeah, it's like approximately a 50-50 chance that could happen, but so we'll see what happens here with Jamie. Sure, might have to revisit this later, but there could also still be an item here, even if you can't complete the dungeon fully.
Yeah, technically it's virtually less than 50-50, though I think the logic actually skews it more towards being a key than not. And there's a small key, so unless the big key's on the torch, we are able to complete this dungeon. Zelda gonna go check the back through escape, and we see the big key here, so
yeah,
desert is completable.
Yep, it's gonna be a little bit of a grind. They don't really have very good items to complete. It's really just the fighter's sword and bombs. So it'll be interesting to see how Jamie handles it if they decide to go all the way to the boss.
Yeah. On Zelda's side, we see the Cane of Burna over in the back of the escape. And he's gonna go through the back way to get to that one last chest. Remember, we had the small key in the sanctuary chest, so we can go through the back way and not have to worry about coming forward to get that item.
Yeah, I love when that works out like that. It's a really nice way to knock out that really awkward item.
Queen just gets his items from Mini Orb and leaves. Zelga got 20 rupees from that chest in Escape. He leaves. I missed what was on the torch, if there was anything there in Desert.
It was the red mail.
Oh, wow.
Mail upgrade.
Well, you're not going to come back just for that, that's for sure. But if these runners put off Desert for a while, they'll grab it if they have the boots when they come here, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, Jamie sure won't come back just for the red mail.
Yeah, so Jamie sure is going to the back, so excited to see how they handle this fight. I think the use of bombs is probably in their future, but we'll see.
Yeah, we might see the 10-year-old way of doing it. Just take your plastic sword and just slash away and hope for the best.
Yeah.
That's how I killed him when I was 10 years old, so... Let's see, 2 are runners now at the Sahashala check. Let's see, Piece of Heart, our first shield, and the Moon Pearl.
There's the Moon Pearl. Okay.
And they'll probably dip into Eastern a little bit just to check what's going on in there. Oh, no, Falcon is not. Zelda will.
Yeah, I think Zelda's making the good play here in the end, because I don't think we have any other locations we haven't checked other than Agahnim Cave, I believe. So, well, and Zora, I guess, is in logic too.
Yeah, Zora's in the logic. Because we have the Moon Pearl now, we can actually logic break into the Waterfall Fairy Cave. Yeah, Jamie sure. This is Vanilla strats. He's got 4 hearts and he's got a plastic sword. Well, Vanilla most players have 5 hearts. If you're Zelda, you have 4 hearts.
Yeah, it's definitely not a trivial fight. Those dust particles, they do quite a bit of damage, and you know, it's pretty easy to get hit by them if you're not paying attention. So Jamie's sure handling this well so far.
Down to 1.5 hearts. Then just 1 land on the left. Again, this fight, when you don't have the quick kill weapons, it can be a little bit of a hassle. But Jamie sure gets it done.
Jamie sure gets it through. Oh, and the Titan's Mitts.
Oh,
wow.
We need those.
So, although that took quite a while to take out Land Mollis there, it was definitely worth it. That's once they get their Moon Pearl, they'll have Dark World access.
I just want to point out something real quick. If you guys watched the 2 p.m. race, the mitts were there too then, and the Moon Pearl was also in the right chest as the Sahashala then as well. I'm not declaring shenanigans, but shenanigans.
Some fishy stuff going on in the randomizer.
Yeah, well, in the race today, the Kakariko is absolutely loaded, so it's definitely not the same seat. We know that, but you know, these things happen.
So we're seeing our first Agahnim Cave check here, on Jay Misher's screen. Just $50.
Yeah, Misher has to go once he gets over to Sahashala's hut, gets that Moon Pearl. He will have Dark World access for pretty much the entire world. I think he's missing out on right side for now.
Yeah, gonna need the flippers of the hammer to get to that right side, or an Agahnim finish, which is potentially possible, but unlikely.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. But I have seen it before, and you can logic break your way over there. But I think you need a fairy in a bottle. It's really complicated.
Yeah, you do that long water walk glitch.
If I tried it, Iga would still be faster. Get our first sick kid check here. Cashing that bottle just for arrow upgrade. Zelda now going to be the fourth one to head over towards the desert. Sea Falcon, actually, funnily enough, will be the first one to have the Dark World access. He's going to be the first one with both Moon Pearl and Titan's Mitts.
It looks like all the runners using pretty similar strategies on Land Mollis, mostly just spin strikes and slashes.
Yep.
Could use bombs here, but on Blaine's style, Blaine pulling out the Cane of Burna here, that's an interesting way to get some damage.
Yeah, the Cane of Burna will do the same amount of damage as a fighter sword, so definitely not the worst strategy.
Okay, cool.
And I was wrong, Jay Misha's actually the first one.
Yeah, that long Land Mollis fight. We'll see how quickly they decide to go there, or if they want to do some more Light World stuff first.
I was going to Fake Flipper first.
Here. Yeah, I'm going to probably sequence break here to a few chests and then do their Zora check, which is in sequence.
Yeah.
Not a bad time to get that out of the way.
Wayne gets his Land Mollis fight done, gets his Titan's Mitts, and Sea Falcon has one to go. And gets it done.
And this fake flipper glitch that Jamie Sure is setting up is a little bit tricky. It's pixel perfect on an X coordinate in which you have to be 1 pixel away from the transition. And once you fall in the water, when you're 1 pixel away, you'll go into this flipper state without the flippers. But it can be really risky because if you take damage while you're in this glitched flipper state, the randomizer is designed so it's a 1-hit KO, which would be a pretty significant time loss if you were to go straight back and try that again.
Yeah, interestingly enough, there is 2 fast setups to do your fake flipper glitch. One is to line yourself up with the bush on the left side. The other is to use a bomb to get yourself as far left as possible without hitting the screen transition. Now this little trick to reverse fake flipper, it's also pixel perfect, but once you line it up, it's pretty trivial.
Yeah, that one's a little scary because if you're a little bit too far over, you can actually soft lock the game. So that one always makes me a little nervous. But Jamie's handling it nicely.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. Not to me, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah, you can actually, if you do accidentally go too far, you can pause really quick and then save and quit instead of soft locking. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen to any of the runners.
See Falcon again. Instead of going to Dark World, we're gonna do other checks first. We're gonna see. Oh no, Jamie Sure. Oh, that was close.
Clutch charge.
Yeah, you're still in fake flipper state. If you got hit with that Zora fireball, you were done. Now, usually you can't walk in this cave, but for some reason, when you have the Moon Pearl, you can. And we see a fire rod.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's a logic break. Now we know that the logic wanted you to have the flippers in order to get the fire rod. And you see on Zelga's side, he turned the mushroom in, saw it was a heart container, and reset. He's going to save that mushroom in case he needs it for a fake powder glitch later on.
Yeah, interesting strategy there. Fake powder really only 1 location, but it can make such a huge difference if you just happen to get that crazy sequence break luck. So
trust me when I say Zelga knows about that. I don't know if you guys remember the Key Sanity tournament. We had 7 players at the XO rank, and all the racers with 1 loss went to a race-off. And Zelga won that race-off by a large margin because of that fake powder glitch. One of the required beat cases was there, and he was able to use that to win the match by a lot.
Wow. And that's the kind of run that will make you fake powder forever after that.
Ooh. A very interesting pendant lineup here. We have the green pendant at Mire, the other 2 pendants at Turtle Rock and Thieves Town. So this is one of the rare scenarios where actually the Cane of Samaria may not be required.
That could be interesting, and it's always weird with the Cane of Samaria because half of Ganon's tower is blocked without it. So we're interested to see how far along that cane is, or if we see it at all.
It could be hiding if it blocks what I think 5 locations in Ganon's tower out of the 22 that the big key could be in.
Oh, it's only I guess it is only 5. You're right. So it's not too many. So even if so we'll see.
Jamie sure has a fire rod, so he's gonna go take care of Skull Woods. It is fully completable. We have what we need.
Yeah, but it is not in sequence if he goes all the way to the end. So
yeah, he knows.
Just have to keep that in mind if he finds more progression there.
Yeah, that it continues to be behind the flippers. So Zelda, I completely missed out. He's doing escape right now.
Blaine taking a 480 rupee net loss there at the Zora.
Actually, 500. He saved the twin instead of bothering taking the 20.
Yeah, so he just lost all 500. So it looks like escape came up empty, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't see anything that Zelda got there. Now, Zelda did not kill Lanmola.
Oh. And I understand where they're coming from there. You know, that is such a long and annoying fight with what they have, and later when you come back, you'll most likely have something that will make that fight trivial and extremely fast. So it's a little bit of a gamble because he knows there's one item there, but it's an understandable gamble in that it could save a lot of time if there was nothing there.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure it's a fast fight, but little does he know, he's more than likely to kill him eventually, because that Titan Smith is probably the only progression that locks the rest of the seed up for you.
Jamie, if you're taking a death, I believe it was intentional. I think it was in the...
Yeah, that was a big...
And see, are they... Okay, it looks like Jamie sure is going to the back, so gonna sequence break to this back. Still a little under-equipped. It's gonna be actually pretty tough to fight them off with what they have, but we'll see how they handle it.
Sword, 5 hearts, blue mail, fire rod without the half magic. I would not be making this play, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either, honestly. The moth scares me. So RNG dependent and so tricky, and so I'm excited to see how Jamie sure handles this.
See what the next play is. Zelda's running out of options. We know that. We know he has to go to Lanmola.
Yeah. Thankfully not. The logic won't take Zelda too far before they have to just go back to desert. So it's that fortune, but it is a little unfortunate.
The slight upside for this is he will have Fire Rod, so he can use a Fire Rod on Lanmola and get the quick kill that way.
Oh, that's true. So he will have a quicker fight. He just has to take the long walk back.
Three Meters now in the Moth fight, down to 3 hearts, out of magic. This is going to be a little rough.
Yeah, just going to have to take their time, get some spins in. We'll see. Going decently so far, dodging spikes.
So Falcon does not have the Fire Rod, so he's done progressing his dungeon, and as will Wayne as well. Oh, Jamie should have 2 hearts.
Still hanging in there, though.
Yeah, he's being very careful about this.
No, that hit definitely connected.
Yeah, but he has to be
so
careful.
For you, those of you that are new, if you hit Mothula into the spikes, it actually cancels out the damage that you did. And wow, Jamie sure does it. That was well done, honestly. It was not an easy fight. Unfortunately, it only gets $20 for it, but they will get the required crystal. So that's time well spent, and yeah, well done by Jay Misher, conquering that tough fight. Looks like Blaine might be heading there as well. Checking this other item first.
Zelda is taking that fire rod going back in the desert, so... Ooh, the powder.
Wow, powder. Okay. Out of sequence, but...
So powder also locked behind flippers.
Sea Falcon looks like it's going to be our first player in the Village of Outcasts. So we'll see if this place holds any value.
Yes, Sea Falcon did check Bumper Ledge, in fact. Bumper Ledge is only 10 arrows.
Fat stack of rupees in that little hut there. But pretty much all the rupees you'd ever need at this point.
Well, that was a 300. That was a vanilla 300 rupee.
That is true. Okay, Blaine also taking on this difficult fight. Got a few good hits in right away. Gonna have to grind through these this moth and his tendency to go into the corner and be unhittable. Oh, got a potion.
Got a blue, so now he can also use that fire rod now.
Yeah, that's really nice. I don't remember where he got that, but that's gonna make this a lot easier.
I think he bought it when he cashed that mushroom in.
Oh, right. So Sea Falcon making the Thieves Town play, a little bit of a gamble in some sense, but they might also just check the first 4 chests because it is a non-required dungeon, most likely.
Yeah.
And without the hammer, it's possible that they might be locked out of one of the chest locations too, although that's unlikely.
You say unlikely, but I mean, you could easily see this dungeon being a double dip.
Oh yeah, I say unlikely, but it happens to me like 80% of the time.
Sea Falcon is going to Death Warp. I think he's done in here for now.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard play. Those first 4 chests really do not take much time to take. It's almost like going to another overworld location.
We've seen it a couple times. I still have not seen what we need to enter Mire, if we do need to enter Mire.
Yeah, I missed it there too, and I was trying to get it, but quick eyes on Zelgadis in there. And then we got a cape at the dig game for Sea Falcon. You know, nothing's at Bumper Cave, so that doesn't really lead to anything, but it's nice to have.
Yeah, we already know it's not required, but I always like having cape, even if it's just for the Ganon fight.
Yeah, it can make that a lot easier and safe. Looks like Sea Falcon might be going to get Jeremiah here. Without the mirror, this is kind of a long check, but they also do have the flute, so it's not too long. It's going to kind of give him a little tour of the Dark World before returning him to his brother back in the Light World.
Yeah, I like to call this the Jeremiah Joy to the World Tour. You know, because the song and it's the world tour.
Ah, I gotcha.
Anywho. Jamie's taking a death. I don't know if it was intentional or not. Seeing as how it was Thieves Town, I'm going to assume it was.
Yeah, it looks like it was. Making that standard first 4 chests, just like Sea Falcon did.
Wayne going to do the same thing, it looks like. Sea Falcon heading over to Hype Cave with the frog in tow.
And the current version, Hype Cave has been not so hype, honestly. So,
no, not at all.
We'll see. We'll see if the narrative changes a little bit here. I have a feeling, I have a good feeling this might be pretty Hype Cave.
I feel like Hammer's going to show up in here.
Rupee. Bombs. Money. And bombs.
Like I said, it's going to be a terrible hype cave. Nothing's going to be in there at all.
1 out of 10.
Why, 6 bombs is worth 1? That's generous.
I mean, it's not 0. Like, what if you were out of bombs? You know, what if you? It could have been helpful. It's a 1.
Well, what if I was made for you and you were? All right, no, I'm going to stop singing. That one's a little more abstract. I'm not really going to get that one.
Okay, Sea Falcon taking the breadsmith back here. Let's see how many items come up. Looks like Jamie Sure also doing the Joy of the World tour, as you call it. With the flute, it really is a good play because it really does not take long to get back here.
And all that just for a bomb capacity upgrade.
Yeah. Take you around 2 whole worlds, and you give me a bag of bombs that can fit more bombs.
An empty bag, no less.
Yeah.
Don't you miss version 18 when you got 1 bomb with those?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So Wayne is actually going to continue through Thieves Town. I missed out on seeing this, but he's going to kill blind.
Oh wow. So yeah, this is kind of a gamble now because yeah, we not required and may be locked out of 1 chest, so we'll see. But we're kind of running out of locations here, and we don't have much. We don't have much left to go that you viewers haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I think Wayne's checking if Thieves Town is the only thing we haven't seen yet. And I'm trying to think of places we can get into, and honestly, I can't.
I mean, I guess the elephant in the room here is that Agahnim is in sequence now with that cape. And we have no access to the right side of Dark World without flippers or hammer. So that's potentially on the table here.
Yeah, if the answer's not in Thieves Town, I think it might be.
I think we're going to Agahnim, yeah. And Master Sword, yeah, just kind of further pushes that narrative.
Yeah. Now we don't even need to keep to get in there.
But I believe there's one more item at blind, so we'll see. Blind's a completely scripted fight if you execute it correctly. Blaine, being a seasoned writer that he is, I'm sure will stick straight to that script. So far, so good.
By the way, that was a new blind quote, and yeah, sausage is the worst.
Boo.
I guess that's a good time to promote the new German restream of speed gaming and German. Oh, there's the Cane of
Samaria.
Wait a minute, hold
nothing,
on.
Right?
So Cane of Samaria is a pendant dungeon, and all it does is open up more pendant dungeons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they can get anywhere, too. They don't have any medallions, so...
yeah, I hope it's nothing up.
I think we're at Agahnim at this point, right? Like,
I think so.
I can't think of what's left.
We can't even glitch because we need a ferry and we don't have the bug net.
Right.
Actually, no. We have access to the purple chest.
Ah, you're totally correct. That's something. Purple chest being basically where the breadsmiths are in the Dark World equivalent. So, but you can only access it after turning in the breadsmith. So, really annoying without the mirror. Usually, the mirror makes that pretty quick check, but it's a long haul. But I think it makes sense to check it here. I mean, Agahnim is a long way, and if it ends up being hammer or flippers at the purple chest, you're going to save a lot of time.
And that Cane of Samaria has me thinking of one thing, and that's with those 2 items, 2 other pendants at Mire and Turtle Rock, what could be on the pedestal? And the answer is not much, but includes the bow and possibly the hookshot.
Yes, yeah, you're correct. So pretty unlikely, but Ped is still alive, currently. I know how much chat loves the Ped.
It's gonna be interesting. Once all these runners converge, and look what Sea Falcon's doing. He
Yeah,
is gonna.
Sea Falcon is making that play. So, yeah, we'll see. Like we said, it's really only that purple chest that we haven't seen. And
Sea Falcon did not even go into Thieves Town to finish it.
yeah, that's true. Kind of a risky play, but I think it's gonna pay off here. I mean, it's definitely the most likely scenario at this point.
The only problem with that is that if that Cane of Samaria is required, and if we don't find any of those swords, he's going to need to go back in there anyway, because that sword upgrade and Cane of Samaria might very well be required. Samaria,
Yeah,
again,
definitely.
it's a lot less likely with the pendant layouts, but if something like Bo is in Turtle Rock or on the pedestal, we'll need that Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, and I mean, Turtle Rock with having 6 items, like, it's never super unlikely for something to be there, even if it is a pedestal, or I mean a pendant dungeon. So once Sea Falcon gets through here with Agahnim, it'll open up a few locations for them, namely Catfish, the Pyramid, and then an unknown amount of pod, basically, depending on if they get locked out right away or if the keys allow them to check most of the dungeon.
I forgot about pod, and I think Eastern no one's dipped either yet.
Yeah, maybe we haven't seen Eastern yet. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, Zelda went into Eastern Palace, okay.
Gotcha, thank you, Chad. So not Eastern.
Or Z semicolon Ga. Him too.
So this trek through Agahnim is it's very similar to the NMG speedrun. You have a master's sword and just no bow to help you through some of the rooms, but master sword will get you through everything pretty quickly.
Well, Falcon's actually still on fighter sword.
Oh, you're right.
The only one that has master right now is Wayne. Wayne's the only one to finish.
Yeah, you're totally right. So I just noticed that.
And purple chest is not the answer.
Wow. So yeah, it's that east side of Dark World. So Sea Falcon having a nice little advantage in the sense that they will get a progression item here, but potentially a disadvantage with not having that Cane of Samaria.
Well, oh yeah, because I was about to say Ether Tablet, but we still don't have access to Ether Tablet. We still need the mirror for that. Or a combination of hookshot and hammer. By then, we'll have a lot of items, so.
Yeah, quite an interesting seed, honestly. This is... it's pretty weird how these items are spread apart.
Alright, we're playing the blue ball game now on Sea Falcon side. What's if you're used to NMG and you know that the amount of blue balls changes for everybody, in the randomizer, the amount of blue balls that you get from Agahnim will always be the same for every runner of that seed. So we got 2 already.
I missed the previous versions where they just made it 0 blue balls every time.
Yeah,
that was great. But it's kind of cool to make it more like the vanilla game in a sense. So
yeah.
And yeah, it's equalized by everybody having the same amount of blue balls.
Yeah, that makes it fair for everybody. Even though in NMG, it's not fair for everybody if you're racing it. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, and so I think Falcon's gotten 3 so far. Looks like they're on the 3rd cycle here.
Yeah, it is the end of cycle 2.
So I think Blaine at this point is going to probably take a Death Warp here and then go straight to Agahnim. I think he's checked everything else because he did all of Thieves Town and yeah, everything. So kind of nice route there where you can kind of route and escape with the Agahnim tower climb.
There are already a lot of blue balls here. We are, I believe we're up to 7 blue balls.
Oh my god.
Oof.
But Agahnim going down on that 4th cycle. Now I'm excited to see what comes next.
7.
I'm thinking the hammers in the near future, but well, that remains to be seen.
7 blue balls. And just an arrow upgrade, so I think we're going to be making a little dive into pod here.
Yeah, we'll see if Falcon might want to check Catfish first. That's also a viable option here, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. Might as well. It's kind of the most convenient time to route it in, honestly. Having checked all of the light world equivalent of that area. Yeah, nothing but junk on the pyramid, just a narrow upgrade. Without asking in chat.
So we're gonna find out now. Is Catfish holding something, or we have to go into Palace of Darkness without bow or hammer? Oh,
it's pod. Wow. What a strange bottleneck. So yeah, going into pod without bow or hammer. So I'm thinking it's going to be the first chest. The progression item is just going to be that.
I'm thinking Arby's.
That first chest.
Oh wait, sorry. That was 8. Yeah, the first chest is either going to be a small key or some sort of progression. That's pretty much guaranteed at this point.
Yep. It looks like Sea Falcon, I think, is the only one who's left items before this. I believe the other 3 runners have just completed every item they could and just got bottlenecked into doing Agahnim.
Not quite. Wayne's the only one who I think has literally checked every location.
Oh, you're right, because Zelda didn't do the back of Thieves. Yeah, nobody has the cane but Blaine. Interesting.
See all. 1 runner finished Agam, 1 runner going to Aga, 1 runner in the middle of Aga, and 1 runner killing Aga. Oh, and
getting hit by that. That was some trolley RNG right there. I feel like we've all been there. So it's going to cost an extra 10 rupees for Sea Falcon, but with 1450, that's not a big deal.
He might have a few to spare.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right.
With the 7 blue ball fight, Wayne is if he's rage slashing now, just wait until later. Alright, chat, we're gonna see here. We're gonna see a small key, or we're gonna see some form of progression. Whether it could be the bow, it could be the hook shot, it could be the hammer, it could be the boots.
Alright. Drum roll, please. And it's a key, so we're going more pod.
Yep. This unlocks another, 8 chests now? There's 5 items, 6 keys is 11, and the 2 items is 13, 12, minus the 3 is 9, minus the 1 is 8. Yeah, so there's 8 more items left, I believe.
Wow.
8 or 9.
That is too much math for me.
Well, there's 13 item locations. 6 keys, map compass, and 5 items. 1 we just got, and there's 3 that are locked behind above. Another thing Sea Falcon didn't do was get the fire rod yet. He's the only one that's not. He is the only one who has not logic broken yet.
Yeah, and honestly, it didn't lead to anything. So, you know, by the time he does go back to Skullwoods, he might have boots or a tempered sword or something that'll speed up that whole process. So that might end up being an advantage for Sea Falcon in the end.
Yeah.
Just because you find an item like Fire Rod early doesn't necessarily give you an advantage.
Well,
God,
not having anything yet.
Nothing in pod yet. This is gonna be the last thing. Jamie's sure taking care of Agahnim. That's so funny. You have a Trolley Agahnim seed like this, and then he also does 7 blue balls just to rub it in.
Oh, yeah.
It's the game letting you know you're in for a long haul here.
Falcon doing a little potion glitch here. He had a blue
nice.
handy. So the way this potion glitch works, if you use a potion in that room, well, look what happens in this room. You just get that red mimic to the other side of the screen. I get all the mimics to the other side of the screen. And the door opens.
It's basically a Jedi mind trick where you tell the game, there are no enemies in here, and then it opens the door. It's pretty cool. And this is a sequence break by Sea Falcon.
He's taking intentional damage here, because he is going to Death Warp, unless of course he has a mirror here or something. Oh, the big key, that's a good find.
Yeah, that's nice. That'll be really, it'll help efficiently just route this back of pod.
Yeah.
It can be really annoying if you have to go all the way back to that big key location. So, pretty solid sequence break here from Sea Falcon.
Yeah, it doesn't let you one extra item, but that peace of mind is going to pay off dividends. And if you do find something in that big chest, which I'm going to assume it's not going to be anything too relevant, I'm going to guess. That means that if you do find something relevant, though, we will know what's behind the bow and the logic.
I wonder if we'll see a hammer or yump here with, well, with one key. It's, yeah, a viable option, but no, not going to do it. Just going to go to the right side. And, progression's got to come soon. And that's not it.
Nope.
Wow.
Let's see, Jamisha and Boyne following in the footsteps. Still nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Dark maze. Or harmless hellway. Oh, there's
the mirror. Gosh darn. That was a long way to get to the next piece of progression. But
what that mirror does for us, it opens up one item in Swamp, it opens up a few other items in the open world, but more importantly, it opens up a lot of Death Mountain. It opens up, well, not a lot. It opens up Hera and Ether Tablet. Oh, then there's the bow in the pod. Wow.
And a bow.
Wait a minute, do you see the progression? What they want you to do, what the logic wants you to do, get that bow and go back for the big key, then come back to open the big chest.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's super annoying. And you know this big... You know this big key chest probably has nothing, and yeah, it has nothing to see, but this game can be really mental sometimes, and if there is an item there, you know it's probably nothing, it's gonna drive you nuts.
But now the good news is we can go finish Eastern now.
Yeah, that's the only thing the bow opens up right now, actually, but it's nice, because it's Crystal Dungeon, you need to get it done.
Armus with the hammer, just watch.
Yeah, that's often how these kinds of seeds go, where they bottleneck you into something, it takes forever, and then once you get there, it kind of just explodes. I've seen that happen quite a few times. So we'll see if this seed ends up being kind of like that. Yeah, the mirror, I imagine they'll go to Tower of Hera, but honestly, it's not it's not a bad idea just to get those overworld chests too, because it's only 2 items up the Tower of Hera.
As you can see, Boyne did not get the big key just yet, so he's gonna get this bow and then just be like, really?
Yeah, so either Boyne's gonna make the long trek back, or it's just gonna have to hang over his head, and so we'll see what he decides to do.
My guess would be that he kills Homicide and comes back afterwards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh wait, he can't kill Homicide, he needs the hammer. He's gonna come back afterwards anyway. He won't come back until...
Yeah, I thought you meant when he comes back to do Helmasaur eventually, then he'll check it then, maybe. But,
if that's the case,
by that time, he might just... Yeah, who knows?
He just has a sword slash there.
Yeah, that's a little bit of salt on Boyne's side, and understandably, this has been quite a weird seed.
And now Boyne knows that the big key was bow blocked, and he knows he can't finish the dungeon anyway, so he's gonna come back later.
I believe this is Blaine's first trip to Eastern, if I'm not mistaken, too, so he's going to kind of follow in Sea Falcon's footsteps here.
Yeah. Zelda also going to do the Potion Blitz. I believe Zelda was the only one to go into Eastern at all.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. He'll pick up a little bit of time save there.
We know Armos will have an item. Though that mirror really screams out Death Mountain and Hera to me. But if we do find a hammer, that opens up pretty much all of Death Mountain for us. Zelda will be doing the hammering up here.
Yep. Nice routing choice there with that big key. Kind of, you can just knock out this left side a little bit more efficiently, and then work your way over to the right.
Oh, the hammer is on Armos! I called it! Oh
I can't believe it. So, there's the hammer.
Commentator's blessing right here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the seed is exploding. So now, I imagine all the runners will probably go to Death Mountain after that. Just so many items up there now that are in sequence.
Well, I figure we're gonna knock out Helmasaur here.
Oh yeah, the Helmasaurs. Forgot about that.
Knocking out both Helmasaur and Armos does open up also the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that's true. We've got both 5 and 6.
They were Pod and East. Jamie got his bow, but could not open the big chest because it does not have the big key. But he can't complete the dungeon anyway until he goes kills Armos. At least they were nice enough to give you the mirror while you're here as well.
Yeah, this is the dungeon where the mirror is like the biggest times.
The fact that you had to go into Pod to get the bow, and then mirror out to go to Eastern to get the hammer, and then you go back into the Pod to finish off. That makes the double dipping dungeons a lot less painful. Yeah,
when it's like, you're just going back and forth between the 2 dungeons twice, basically. It's not so bad. When you're... So it looks like Helmasaur King just has the compass. Okay, so it's just going to be a crystal from Helmasaur, but a red crystal, so one that will open up that Pyramid Fairy, like we said.
Yeah. So a lot of spots open up now with that hammer.
So Blaine making his way back through, so it'll be interesting to see if he decides to go back to that big key chest after Helmasaur, or if he just decides to just leave it because it's really out of the way.
Queen also did not skip the bow, so... Oh no, Jamie should save and quit. He didn't go get the hammer.
Yeah, let's see if Jamie sure heads straight back.
No, he's going to...
No, Jamie is just taking a completely different route here. It's a little bit of an unfortunate decision there.
Yeah, he's going to checkerboard cave, it looks like. It's the only thing that's over here. So Jamie's just going to be set way back now.
Yeah, that's a pretty big fall there.
Alright, let's see what's next on Falcon's agenda here. He now has everything here, and looks like it's going to be probably Dark World Exploration.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy maybe, or yeah, I guess since Sea Falcon doesn't have the Master Sword, he can't actually get the item from the Bombos tablet, but can check what it is. And then also has that one ledge just north of there that they can check. It looks like they're going to the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's definitely something you have to consider, because like the seed is leading you in a certain direction. And, you know, bow and hammer being basically flip-flopped vanilla is definitely something that leads you to believe that maybe Pyramid Fairy will have something.
And sometimes you just get baited, but we'll see. I'll see Falcon taking a nice route here, so you can, what you can do is if you've done Agahnim, then you can actually just mirror, and then take the portal right in front of the tower back to the Dark World. It saves a lot of time over having to hit through those pegs on the Dark World.
Yeah, this is
so good heads-up play.
The vanilla route for new NMG runners like myself. This is the route I take, so I can guarantee myself the Butter Sword and Silver Arrows in the regular game. But it will be a piece of art, and up there's another
get the sword upgrade, so it's not a complete waste of time at all.
Wait a minute, sword upgrade and Pyramid Fairy. Who randomized this?
This is looking a little vanilla to me.
If it was silver, well, we already have the silvers. We already have the silver, so if it was silvers and sword upgrade, then we'd really declare shenanigans.
So Jamie's sure doing Tower of Hera first, but without the hammer, so not going to be able to check that east side. But we'll get whatever's in here first, so we'll see what it ends up being either.
Maybe. I mean, if it only maybe opens up to the rock, so...
Yeah. It has a 1 in 3 chance of not, like, possibly being... yeah, it's a low chance, is what I'm trying to say. But Jamie sure gets to sit back, relax, maybe do some push-ups or sit-ups while they're waiting, get some exercise in.
Look at Zelda and Wayne, they are matching each other frame for frame, but they go different directions. Zelda's going to go to Pyramid, and Wayne's going straight to that mountain. And we can now see what's on this Ether tablet here, and it's just a little bit of love.
Just a piece of art. Oh, it's blocked.
Bedrock, rude.
Oh, I thought for a second there, I thought Sea Falcon was just gonna go all the way to the right side just because they got rocked.
Junior gets his vanilla big key from Hera. Falcon gonna head in there as well. Oh, Zelda, you forgot the bomb. Unless, is this a glitch I don't know about?
I'm thinking it was a mistake. Unless...
No, it's a glitch.
No, it's a glitch. Wow, I've never seen that before.
I've heard about it. I had a feeling that was what was going on.
Yeah, that was neat. I'm gonna have to look into that one.
Take notes on that one. It looked like all you had to do was like jump off with the bomb and then press the mirror when the bomb was at 0. Looks like that Moldorm has our last item here in Hera.
Yep. Being another crystal dungeon, no brainer to go fight him, even though he is an annoying worm. Kind of have two good options here that are both about equally as viable to fight Moldorm. You can use the Master Sword and charge spins, takes 3 spins to take him out, and then you could use the hammer, do 3 spins, or I mean 3 hammer shots. Looks like Jamie's actually going just for regular sword slashes. It works too. Sometimes charging your sword can be a little bit sketchy, and you could get knocked off.
Especially Jamie is still on level 1 sword here.
Oh gosh, I keep getting that wrong. You're totally right. Jamie sure does not have a sword upgrade yet, so this is the correct thing to be doing, and they also don't have hammer.
Yeah.
So this is as fast as they could do it.
Yeah. Everyone else has the hammer and at least Master Sword. And
just a Pizza Heart.
Yep. So, I think Jamie sure has to go back and get that hammer now.
Yeah, I think Jamie has a few overworld locations they could check first if they desire, but I think at this point they're definitely thinking about Eastern Palace.
Nope, we're gonna do more.
No, just gonna check out those overworld chests. Yeah, so Jamie's are probably heading for the Graveyard Ledge next. Could have something. It's kind of a hot location in this version. You never know. But we'll have to get that hammer soon.
Falcon waiting on Moldorm to show up. Using the hammer strats and gets it done, no problem.
Yeah, so Blaine and Sea Falcon pretty darn close in what they've done already. You know, Blaine having that Cane of Samaria advantage, but we still don't even know if it's actually required. So it may not be an advantage at all. We'll just have to see. And Sea Falcon's going to be the first one to head over to East Death Mountain here. Check a whole bunch of chests. Hong gets dead rocked.
Again, dead rocks.
Dead rocks are not on Sea Falcon's side today.
Can we just remove him from the code already? We've done everything else with the code.
We can't touch the game, it's sacred. Even the terrible, terrible dead rocks.
Another piece of heart sitting on a floating island, so we're not gonna have to come back for that. Well, we can get it now, but we just, don't want to.
Good old Spiral Cave.
Without the boots.
Yeah, lots of wall pumping for the runners who do that.
Get your resident sleepers in chat for this one.
What a lot of runners will do in a cave like this, if they don't have boots, is they'll do a technique called wall pumping, where they mash into the wall as fast as they can to get a little bit of increased movement, and it only works if you're going left or up. So it actually only works for half of that cave, but it could save a good amount of time over the whole course of the run.
You're now doing purple chest. And he can also route in checking Bombo's tablet with this, with what he has. Can't get Bombo's tablet, but we can check it.
Sea Falcon and Blaine synced. Synced, sanked, sunk.
Yep. Someone called Justin Timberlake because they're in sync. And we get the flippers.
Wow, there's the flippers. Okay. So Fire Rod back in sequence.
Yep. And Falcon will get
that opens up some stuff for sure. Now you're thinking about Ice Palace.
Up there's Bombos. Alright, so now we have 2 medallions.
Alright, Jamie, you're heading on the right track here now. Good to see.
Yeah, he's gonna be a little upset when he finds the hammer on.
Yeah, it just happens in rando sometimes. You just take a little gamble and make a mistake, or it just doesn't pay off.
Look at this sync on Falcon and Blaine's sides. They're just...
I know, they've been sync for a while. This is cool.
Bombos is needed for Turtle Rock, although again, Turtle Rock is a pendant.
And Blaine has the option to go check it out if he wants.
Have the option to check it out if he wants. You're right.
Well, Sea Falcon does not. So
and neither does Zelda.
I always like to say, yeah, Turtle Rock is kind of a make or break dungeon a lot of the time because it's so long and has so many items. Like sometimes little splits like this of like one person going there and one person not make such a huge difference.
And the fact that we can't defeat it yet, we don't have the Ice Rod, makes it a little less likely that you would check it out. Let's see what Blaine does, because he's the only one that has the option to go in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it. I mean, yeah, it looks like he's gonna at least open it. It's a guaranteed 5 items at least. Potentially 6, so that's a lot of items.
Falcon looks like he's gonna do Spike Cave.
Yep, that being in sequence for sure, with both Canberra and Cape. One of the more awkward locations in the game, but yep, when it has value, it has value. Yeah, he's going in.
Blaine is in Pendant Turtle Rock.
And you know, it's not too big of a deal because when it's pendant, you probably don't have to finish it, right? So even if you take one, go through it, and then you probably don't have to come back. So it makes a lot of sense to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna find out real quick if we're gonna get Samaria from Thieves Town from Blind, more specifically.
Looks like Sea Falcon going to ice. So pretty cool divergence here. He turns into a rat when he's swimming.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic.
Shout out to all the people who make these sprites, because they're wonderful.
Yeah, shout out to Zelda 1 too. I guess I could throw a little plug in that the Zelda 1 randomizer, their tournament will be starting in a little less than a month. Sign-ups close in 3 weeks. So if you're ever interested in playing Zelda 1 randomizer, you can go check that out. I will be playing in the tournament. I will not be doing well, but I will be playing.
Come on.
I made brackets last tournament on a technicality. Anywho, back to our task at hand. Looks like Sea Falcon is now went to Hobo and is now leaving and going to do the rest of the checks. Well, Zelda is going to be the first one into Ice Palace.
Oh yeah, totally missed that. So yeah, we'll see which one of these plays. This is kind of a big split right now, honestly, and so we'll see which one holds the value.
So here's the interesting thing on Zelda's side. So we do not have the King of Samaria. We know where it is. He will still have to do the bomb jump if he wants to complete the dungeon the fast way, but because he's going to 100% this dungeon regardless, he's going to have to take some awkward routing from here.
Yeah, with no hook shot, things can get a little weird here. Yeah, no cane, so might have to do some extra bomb jumps. We'll see how they decide to go about it. It's kind of depending on where the keys end up. There's a few different ways you can do it. So nothing in Turtle Rock so far. Looks like Bane's gonna go pretty far down, and you can check the Mimic Cave too. So that's also on the table.
Yeah, we can pretty much get everything up to Trinex.
Zelda isn't doing the infamous Ice Palace bomb jump. Big time saver in the normal NMG speedrun, and almost always a time saver in Randomizer as well. Good one to learn.
Yeah, that's definitely the trick that I practiced the most when learning how to do both this game and the No Magic Glitches category. Everyone's favorite Mimic Cave.
I haven't seen anything in Mimic Cave in like a million seats, so we'll see.
How about a Tempered Sword?
That's not nothing. Give it that. That's a nice find.
So that means 2 swords were in pendant dungeons, and the third the third one's in Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, those are some awkward. So you gotta take some sort of awkward play to get the at least one sword upgrade that you need to beat the game.
Yeah. If Win doesn't find hookshot fast, he might end up getting all 4. Of course, if they're all required, if Cane Samara is required and if hookshot's say on Laser Bridge, those swords will be found anyway. Sea Falcon's now in Skullwoods, and he can be the only one that can easily route in the pedestal check.
That's true, and I imagine there will. He might know for sure now if Pet is dead or still alive. I think only the hookshot is still possible. So
technically, the very slim chance of those boots can still be on there.
Yeah, that's true. One of those 2 items, but that is...
I think hookshot though is the dream that everybody's hoping for.
Yeah, we'll see if it's a boing boing or but probably just couch cash.
Alright, Laser Bridge. Let's see if this Turtle Rock play paid off or not. So far, other than Tempered Sword, it has not paid off. And that red shield.
Blaine's heart's racing right now. He's making kind of a gamble here. We'll see.
This has got to be a small key though.
Oh, you're right. No, it's over. So yeah, this is a...
It was a bust, other than that Tempered Sword.
Turtle Rock had nothing, so that's a huge time sink.
So we're going through all the bomb jumps here in Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Bomb jump
having to use a bomb to get to this big key chest.
Yeah.
Something you got to think about when you don't have the hook shot. Just a big heart there.
Alright, here comes your everyday friendly pedestal check here on Sea Falcon's side. And you were right, it was Couch Cash.
Yeah. Not a very
Stop
impressive
playing
guess.
the odds. So, see, when I guessed Hammer or Armos, that was not playing the odds. You played the odds and saying Couch Cash was on
Yeah,
there.
no, I don't deserve anything for that for sure. It's like Couch Cash like 80% of the time.
Or a little piece of love. It was one of those two, like, almost every seed seems like. Now we have 3 runners in Ice Palace. We still haven't found anything yet. So once Zelda takes care of Cold Stare, I'm not sure if Zelda bomb jumped to the right side. Oh yeah, he definitely did.
He did. Found junk, I believe.
Well, we haven't found hookshot, so obviously it's junk. That's all we're looking for.
Yeah. Nothing.
Well, interestingly enough, that small key means that you needed the Cane of Samaria to finish the dungeon in the logic. And you know the Cane of Samaria is on blind. Alright, so we know it's not on Turtle Rock. We know...
Where are we going?
It can't be in Mire until we find Boots. It's not in Thieves Town. Could it be in its vanilla location, Swamp Palace?
Could be. I mean, I think that's what's going through these runners' mind at this point. It's another one of those locations you just really don't want to go to until you have to.
These guys do not want to do Swamp Palace. I will tell you that, though. I think Zelda is...
No, it is so slow without that hook shot. And yeah, and if it's not there, then you're forcing a double tip, so that just stinks. But it looks like Zelgadisson might be heading there. Might check a few overworld locations first. So this seed's super bottlenecking our runners. This is kind of what we consider a linear seed, and meaning it gives you these ridiculously stupid decisions to like that you'd have to make to actually progress quickly. And yeah, I'm thinking it looks like it's swamp at this point.
Falcon's gonna check one thing we haven't seen yet, and that's the hammer pegs.
Ah, hammer pegs. Yeah, that could be it. Have we seen the Bombos tablet yet? I can't remember.
No, we have not seen that yet either.
Okay, so that's in.
That's in. I'm trying to think what else in the overworld is also still available to us. Can't be too much left. I don't think we've seen Magic Bat either yet.
No, and then we know that is in sequence. Yeah, so there's a few locations here, and I think Sea Falcon's probably going to check that right now. Or no, Sea Falcon doesn't have the powder, unless they... Nope, can't fake powder. Yeah, he does have the powder. Does have powder.
Falcon does have powder. I forgot where it was. Oh, it was in Skullwoods.
Nothing at Magic Bat. So yeah, we're getting closer and closer to that slow Swamp Palace.
Well, we already know where that purple chest doesn't have anything. The other 2 runners on top have checked it already.
Right, but Sea Falcon will be able to route in the well, if they're fluting, we'll see. Yeah, they'll probably route in the Bombos tablet on top of checking the purple chest here. And I think that will be it at that point.
Taking a hammer on means that there's going to be purple chest, Bombos tablet, and then Swamp Palace. Zelda already checked the purple chest, so he's going straight to Swamp Palace now, I think.
So what are we thinking? Shovel in Swamp Palace, and then Boots at Dig Spot, and then Hook Shot at King's Tomb? Something like that?
Okay, Twitch chat, calm down. I'm not talking to Twitch chat, I'm calling you Twitch chat. Wayne is the first one to Mirror Shield. And Jamie's still on Fighter Sword, doing Fighter Sword Cold Stare. This is, what's the word I'm looking for? daring.
Yeah, it stinks. Doing the right thing and using the hammer, but
Bottleneck tablet is the hook shot.
Wow.
Both Zelga and C Falcon are in go mode now, assuming they don't need the Cane of Samaria or the boots.
Awesome. This one exactly how I wanted to go.
Yeah, just go in there and just like there's 6 spots that the big key can be in that can totally screw you over. Good luck.
Yeah, that's crazy. And we know for sure they're not going to get the cane. There's no reason they would ever go back to Thieves Town at this point, I don't think, before at least checking Ganon's Tower. So, this could get interesting, folks. Blaine could have a huge advantage, or he could just be behind. We don't know.
When it comes to between Zelga and Falcon, Zelga's way ahead because Falcon has not done Ice Palace yet.
Yeah, you're correct.
I don't think has Zelga done Skullwoods? I think he did. I know Falcon did, even though it's not marked on the tracker.
I believe Zelga did. I'm not 100% sure.
Bring the pause menu up so we can see how many crystals that Zelga has. Zelga has 6 already, and this is the 7th one. And I'm pretty sure he did it before going to, yeah, this is his last crystal. Falcon still has to do Ice Palace. Wayne just finished Ice Palace. I think he's heading over towards... I hope he does Bombs before Swamp Palace. Please do Bombs before Swamp Palace.
Oh yeah, that's a big play right now. It makes sense because yeah, when it's just that one item, you gotta just check it first because so much faster to go through Swamp that way.
Oh, Wayne's gonna do Pyramid Fairy first.
Yeah,
going
Pyramid Fairy first.
Okay, so here's what it comes down to. Zelda's in the leads. Falcon is an Ice Palace behind him, but it's going to be a Goemon Ice Palace for him. If Samaria is required, Wayne is in a big lead. And if boots are required, then it's anybody's ballgame.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, especially Zelga, Dis, and C Falcon here, if they'll how much out of the way, slightly out of the way chests they'll check, just to look for either cane or boots. We know they're not going to find the cane, but
so something that can still happen that is related to the Cane of Samaria is if, for instance, let's say Quake is left side of Ganon's Tower and the big key's on the torch, or on the right side, or on the torch, and then the boots are in Misery Mire or something like that. Come on. Now I'm Twitch chat.
Yeah, now you're Twitch chat. You got the bug. Yeah, so Zelga isn't checking a few out of the way, barely out of the way chests, just in case.
Yeah. He's looking for mainly cane.
Right, he's in a very uncomfortable go mode right now, where he, is pretty sure he's in it, but really is completely unsure.
Wayne is continuing to check every spot that isn't Bomb's tablet that is blocked by the mirror.
Classic rando luck. This is the last place you check, but
Jamie's finally going back to Pod. Remember, he left Pod, went elsewhere, and then came back for Eastern and got the hammer that way. Still hasn't gone back to finish Pod.
So, Las Vegas Argus only taking one silver arrow. Pretty nice and quick. And there's half magic.
That's nice.
You're happy to see that. Yeah, especially with the Master Sword.
Oh, yeah.
That's your highest upgrade.
Zelga's, both of them are going to have to Master Sword fight.
Thankfully, yeah, everybody's got silver arrows, so that's nice. That speeds up the fight so much. Nobody wants to do all 24 sword spins.
Wayne gets his hook shot. He is now in go mode. But his odds of being actually in go mode are way higher than Zelda and Falcon's.
They're 21 and 22 instead of, whatever it is, 19 and 17 and 22. Yeah, pretty trippy.
Sorry, 6. There's 6 chests that 5 on the right side and the torch are all locked by items that Zelda and Sea Falcon do not have.
I think we can start our game though at this point, right?
Well, we don't do the game in the dailies, but we can still let you know.
A casual game, not a
there are 22 chests
nothing
in
on the line.
Tower, and if you want to play along with us and try to guess where the Ganon's Tower big key is going to be, hopefully right side, Alright. I mean, I am hoping for right side just because I want to see pain and suffering.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Or even Torch would be, hilarious because then,
Torch
nobody has an advantage.
Yeah, Torch makes it wide open. If it's
then,
right side,
anything could happen.
If it's right side, then Wayne has a monstrous lead here. In case you guys are just joining us and seeing what's going on, you see one runner with a level 4 sword, one runner entering Ganon's Tower with a 2 sword. Well, 2 dungeons that Wayne dipped that Zelda and Sea Falcon did not. Well, one of them had to gain a Samaria. That was Thieves down. Alright, Zelda, you're going to left or right first here. You're going to go right first, get these 2, and go further.
Yeah, pretty much no reason not to at least just check these first 2 chests first, the quickest, and
there was a key too.
It's a key. It's a normal way, you'd start thinking right side, but when you don't have the key to Samaria, it's not an option.
Yeah.
So.
The other item was, of course, the legendary single arrow.
And drum roll, it's not the torch, so boot's not required.
So that's one dead. That means we know for sure Wayne is in go mode.
Yeah, that's true. Wayne is the only one in actual go mode until we are proven otherwise.
Seven chests down, still no big key.
Nothing.
If you're Zelda, you're just hoping, you're praying you see it eventually.
Yeah.
God, Buttersword is so good. Blaine just obliterated those puffballs.
Yeah, pretty quick fight there with Blaine, by Blaine.
And Jay Meester finally gets a sword upgrade. He gets it from Pyramid Fairy. Wayne finishes off. He's the second one with 7 crystals, and Sea Falcon's not going to be too far behind.
Oh, gosh, so yeah, only a few more chests left in Ganon's Tower. Zelda is probably losing a little piece of his soul every time he opens a chest, and it's not the big key at this point. Just praying he doesn't need that game.
We have 4 chests here, and we have Bob's chest, Ice Harmos, and Blue Boomerang. Ice Rod!
Ice Rod, that's Kite. He's just throwing bombs all over the place. Bottle. He's going. He's losing his mind, hoping. There's only 4 left. So, no, 5 left. No, 4 left.
4 left.
4 left.
Is that your final answer?
It is 4.
Yeah, it's 4.
Not 3. 5 is right there.
Without the boots, doing this little trick is a little more painful.
Yeah, let's see if Zelgadison decides to bomb jump across this little invisible gap here, which you kind of have the quickest way to do it without the boots. And it looks like does know that strategy.
Yeah, I had to bust this out recently for the first time.
As tricky as it looks, it's actually one of the easiest bomb jumps to do.
Yeah.
It's really, really loose window, yeah.
Everyone say hi to Bob. And, oh, the big key's on Bob's chest!
And
wow,
Zelgadison's face lights up in front of his, his console. He is in go mode.
Keen not required.
Yeah, so Zelgadison with a significant lead in the end. But Blaine not too far behind, honestly. I'm about to enter. I imagine Blaine will probably check the right side first because he knows he likely has that cane advantage over a lot of other runners. But we'll see.
He from his perspective, he's like, all right, no one else probably has this.
Yeah, he's like, I might as well check right side. That's what I would be thinking if I was in his shoes.
The other argument is that if it is right side, very few people are going to have the access to it to begin with. Sea Falcon is actually dipping Hookshot Cave looking for the items that might potentially be needed. Because he is already in. He can open up the Tower whenever he wants. Little does he know, he doesn't need anything else.
Yeah, pretty quick check though. It makes tons of sense to just hop in here really quick. It really doesn't even take a minute, I don't think, to check all 4 chests.
Yeah. I mean, also another thing you're going to see is a sword, because remember, he's still a Master Sword. That's why this race actually, even though it looks like Zelda is well ahead, because Zelda is in, and Wayne is going right side, so he's going to lose a little bit more time. But, yeah. Master Sword versus Butter Sword is not trivial.
Well, and also, something worth noting is if Blaine decides to go all the way right side, like takes it all the way to Bob's chest, then that's actually faster than taking left side.
Yeah, if he mirrors after checking these 4, it's the longest route possible.
Yeah, then it's super long, but...
It's a slightly unconventional route to go full right side this way, but I have some people do it, and if he does, he's still in this. It's going to be very close if he does. So
yeah, it actually is. You're totally right. Golden Sword just makes the Ganon fight trivial.
Alright, let's see what happens after he gets his key. He has the mirror out, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, looking like he's gonna mirror. Yeah, okay. So unfortunate decision there by Blaine.
He doesn't know that. I mean, he's making the percentage play. And Jamie Sure is also in go mode now. He got that hook shot. He is now heading through the swamp. And he was tripped up by the fact that he left the pod eastern area with just the bow without going back to kill Armos with a hook shot. That's where he lost most of his time.
Zelgadison getting through those rooms pretty easily. As simple as they are with the boots, without the boots, especially if you've done a lot of them with the boots, you all of a sudden kind of like have to rethink it a little bit. And they can get just a little bit more trolly without the boots.
Zelda, though, does have to be careful here. Down to 1.5 hearts.
Yeah, as long as he makes it through these next couple rooms, he'll have an anti-fairy to throw some powder on.
2 anti-fairies, that.
Yeah, 2.
He's open each chest, and we're sort of great.
Yeah, I'm not going to find it, so I'm going to lose a little time here.
Note the bailout key. That means if you came up here with no keys, you would have got bailed out. Makes it through to the anti-fairy and Bunny Beam. It's a full refill. Sea Falcon and Blaine basically in the same room here.
Yeah, but Blaine with a huge advantage is having that golden sword. He's actually got a pretty significant lead over Sea Falcon.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't appear that way.
Plus, that Canis Samaria will actually be helpful in making some of the wizard rooms up here easier.
Oh yeah, that's totally true.
Hey, there's Quake. Now we can do Meyer.
Validation chest quake. Yeah. We'll see if Zelda decides to go to Meyer before fighting the final boss. I don't think he will.
Hey, Boots probably in there at this point.
Yeah, just so he can do his boot strats on Ganon, you know.
Yeah. So he does have, you know, half magic and cape. Alright, Act 2 fight for Zelda.
Decent pattern, only gets one. Tricky fight, you know. The main Agahnim, after the first, has a 50-50 shot of... Oh, nice triple there.
Oh, that was a good triple.
Yeah, good stuff to Zelda does. I believe that was a 3-cycle, which is a solid fight.
I'm missing up the bomb jump here.
Oh, Blaine is out of bombs.
Oh my.
Ah, what's he gonna do here?
Light the torch.
Oh, he's gonna light the torch.
Way.
Okay, cool. You know, to be honest, I didn't know you could light the torch and see them like that. I thought you just had to eat
Oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, that's how,
that's how I did it when I was a kid.
Alright, Zelda is in the Ganon fight. Remember, he's got Master Sword and Silvers. And Wayne just got his big key. Sea Falcon's had his big key. He's making the climb up the gauntlet.
Blaine's just gonna have to remember he will need a bomb at one point, so he shouldn't skip out on any bomb drops that he sees.
The room before you need a bomb is where you'll find a bomb in the pot, underneath the pot.
Yeah, that's true. There is a bomb in that pot.
And Zelda getting lucky, getting the perfect spot for phase 2. But still did not get the 1-cycle phase 2 because Master Sword is really bad.
Yeah, going through this phase especially is really tough with the Master Sword, so using the cape, no shame in using the cape like he is, just to save some hearts and make it a little easier.
I use the cape almost every time again if I have it.
I do with Master Sword, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely Master Sword if I have the cape. Alright,
pretty nice teleports. Teleports, just like the Agahnim fight with the blue balls, is standardized for everybody in the seed, so everybody gets the same amount of Ganon teleports.
He was very close to falling there, but gets it done.
Not even close. He is. That's what he's telling himself right now. Can't get a double here, I don't believe. Nope. But it's looking like that was really close from a flame coming out, but he got it, and looks like Zelgadison's gonna be the first of our 4 runners to finish.
Not only is the first of the 4 runners to finish, he's the first of the close to 40 runners we had in this race. He is the overall winner of the race.
Wow, crazy.
Official SRL time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 37 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for Zelgadison, winner of our restream and winner of the race.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, big time saves in this run. We're just, avoiding the back of Thieves Town and not worrying so much about that cane, I guess.
The room that Sea Falcon's in right now is the room where Wayne pulled ahead, because having the cane Mario makes this room very easy.
Yeah, it's almost never that you do it without the cane too, so it can definitely catch you off guard if you're not ready for it. And this room as well, the one Sea Falcon is in, is also tricky without boots.
And we have a second place finisher in the race off the stream. INC None finishes with 1:40.01. Biles is our third place finisher. He finishes with a 140.38.
Blade not getting his Quake.
He doesn't need it.
That's a little unfortunate. Just not going to have...
He doesn't have the Myra access. How's he ever going to 100% this game?
Yeah, I don't...
And Falcon will probably check it looking for that sword upgrade. Spoiler, you're not going to get it. Now in the Agahnim fight.
Nice, playing correctly using sword slashes there. It's kind of tricky to figure out on the fly, like whether you should use sword slashes or spins, but making the right decision there. Oh, just missing the triple there. A couple pixels off.
Hold on 1 second. We have a special guest with us as our winner, Zelga Disson, has joined us in chat. GG, Zelga.
Hey, GG's. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so how hard was your heart pumping before you found that big key in Ganon Tower?
It was getting pretty bad. I knew, what was it, like 6 chances out of 22 going in because I didn't have the cane or the boots. So as I was getting over to Bob, I knew that this was coming down to the wire.
Well, little fun fact that we did see the cane Samaria on stream. One of our runners did get it. It was on blind.
Ah, okay. I kind of wondered if there was going to be something worthwhile in the back of Thieves Town. So
there was also a sword upgrade in the back of Thieves Town.
Oh, that would have come in handy too. Yeah. Honestly, that time. No, I don't think it saved enough time.
Well, the other thing that Wayne did, he dove Turtle Rock. That's where he found the Butter Sword, but that was all that was in Turtle Rock. So he did both those gambles before basically doing Bottomless Tablet.
Okay, that makes sense, because, I mean, since I didn't have Samaria, Turtle Rock wasn't even an option, but I was thinking about it that whole time as I was looking for the hook shot.
Yeah, both you and Falcon found the hook shot at basically the same time for both of you to have your little quasi-go mode. Things like Falcon still had to do ice, so that's how you were well ahead of him.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. That's good info. So yeah, I mean, this was interesting just the way it was laid out. Really just the pod and Eastern plays were the most interesting part of this to me.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, go into one, switch to the other, go to the other.
Anyway, we see on screen Dwayne finishes. However, he does not get 4th place. 4th place goes to Big Dunka, who got 4th with a 142.08. Wayne does have 5th, though, with a 143.02, and right behind Wayne is Sonicam. He gets 6th with a 143.22. Get your GGs in chat for Wayne. We'll see if we get him to join us as well in here. As now Falcon is now on to the Ganon fight.
GG to Wayne.
And you see Falcon using the 8-bit sprite, also has the 8-bit sound going, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Alright, this hits phase 2. Again, Master Sword. Funny seeing 3 runners on Master Sword, and Wayne getting it done with Butter Sword.
Ooh, half a heart, but still has a blue potion.
Now in chat is
cape here.
Is our 5th place runner in the race and 2nd place runner on stream, Mr. Wayne. How are you doing?
Doing well. How's everybody tonight?
Doing good. It's safe to say that you definitely checked the most locations among every runner in the entire race, I would assume.
That's what it felt like. This is the kind of seed that's really fun when you have the boots and really miserable when you don't.
You were the only one of our 4 runners to dip the back of Thieves Town, and that sent you to do all of Turtle Rock. The good news is you were the only one that didn't have to do Master Sword Ganon.
Yeah, it was a little painful finding that, hey, this cane that we got that isn't technically required isn't actually required either, and then also those medallions I found. Conveniently, the one for Turtle Rock, also not required. I just got baited pretty hard by a couple of those items, and I felt really clever as I was going up Dark Death Mountain, saying, "Hey, I sequence broke to the fire rod. Still don't have those flippers. If flippers are up here, everybody else has to leave and then come back up to do Turtle Rock if the answer is Turtle Rock. So I'll just do it while I'm up here." Seemed like a great plan in my head.
I mean, yeah.
But nothing on Laser Bridge letting me down, and at least I didn't go into Swamp without the hook shot. There were one or two locations left for me, but at that point, I was gonna dive into Swamp right after Bombo's tablet, so at least hook shot was there. Yeah,
hook shot on Bombo's tablet was always a nice feeling. Oh, Falcon.
Oh, taking a death.
Yeah, taking a death again, and nice to go through that entire Master Sword fight all over again. Actually, he's not going to. He actually just forfeited the race.
Those Ganon hugs, man, those are brutal.
Yeah, he did not want to go through Master Sword Ganon again, I don't think. And you know what? Master Sword Ganon is so miserable, I don't blame him.
It's a grind.
Anyway, more finishers real quick. Korek got 7th with a 145.45. Gravis 10, 8th place with a 146.50. And Ninban getting 9th place with a 147.27. Yeah, Sea Falcon played very well throughout the entire race. Like I said, all 4 of our runners made the brackets of the tournament, so I was expecting high-level play from all 4 of you, and that's exactly what we saw.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was a little nervous coming into this being featured because I haven't done open since like February. So I was like, oh man, if I make some really dumb mistakes, like completely leaving Desert Palace when I can finish it, I was going to be really embarrassed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Interesting thing about that though is like, you know, all the other runners, they did that, but they had to do it with Fire Sword, which is it's just so long no matter how you look at it. You know, it just takes forever, and like by the time you had gone back there, you had the fire rod, so you actually cleared it really quickly. You just kind of lost maybe a little bit of time doing the walk back, but it wasn't as significant as it seemed on the surface, you know.
Yeah, especially since that was the item, like the bottleneck, your next progression for the most part.
Yeah, I realized whenever that was literally my last spot to get some progression, and I realized, well, that fire rod was probably something most people didn't have for this fight, so maybe it's at least a little better. So yeah.
We have 2 more finishers here. Walther the 4th finished in 10th with a 147.59. Nelium in 11th with a 148.12. So these runners, all the runners, very, very close. Like seeing 11 runners within 10 minutes of first place is very good to see in a race like this.
Yeah, and that trend seems to happen with leads that are linear, like this one kind of was for a lot of it.
Joining us now is the 3rd person to quote-unquote finish, Sea Falcon. GG's.
Thank you.
You just didn't feel like doing Master Sword Ganon again, did you?
No, I mean, I could have left and got some potions or done it again, but I just backed up an inch too far into him, and oops.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm not that mad, though. I mean, you know, the run I thought went alright until then anyway, so no complaints here.
Oh yeah, you played very well. You and Zelda both found the hook shot basically at the same time. The only difference is he had already done ice and you did not.
Oh, okay.
That was the only difference between you 2 guys. And Wayne was a little bit behind you, but the reason he was behind you is because he dove 2 pendant dungeons. Found the sword upgrades. One was in Thieves Town, and one was in Turtle Rock.
Alright.
And Jay Meisher also taking a death again here.
Yeah, just goes to show you how difficult this fight is with Master Sword. It's even runners this strong will struggle with it.
I'm just curious. I'm assuming hookshot was probably about everybody's go mode, right?
Yeah, everyone on stream for sure. Just going for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, luckily all of you guys checked that Bombos tablet before going into Swamp. We were happy to see that, because that would have been so unfortunate to have gone through the 4 slow chests, and then only for the hookshot to be so close by in the overworld.
So that Bombos tablet was literally going to be my last check before just going into Swamp Palace, so I just got bailed out super hard.
Yeah, I think that was the case for all 4 of you guys. This is basically all you had left. Maybe a couple on, I think, Blaine's side that were still open, but...
I hadn't actually touched Ice Palace yet. Before I found the hookshot, I was pretty much determined if hookshot was in there, I was just gonna say GG's to everyone on that one, so... I really didn't want to dip in there without it.
I think all I have left
fair.
is like Catfish, Graveyard Ledge, Checkerboard. I think that might be it, besides the back of Thieves Town.
And Jamie implementing the silverless strats. Oh wait, you have silvers though.
There's definitely like a sense of pride to it, even if like I know it's switching to silvers, but like especially if you take a Ganon death, sometimes you're just like, I want to make this as hard as possible just to prove I can do it. So I know I've done that.
I just really want to stick it to Ganon and just poke him 24 times.
And speaking of poking it to Ganon, Jamie is our the final finisher of our restream, and he finished in 12th place on the overall race, so 152.28. Real quick before we bring him in for an interview, 13th place is Frostbite 3030 with 152.35, and 14th is Matt 7898 with a 152.54. Get your GDs in chat for Jay Meisher, our final finisher of our restream. And Jay Meisher joins us. GG.
Hey, GG guys.
Yeah, so will you ever leave Eastern Palace behind again after getting the bow?
I guess not. Yeah. No, I don't know. That whole early game sequence was not the greatest.
Yeah, that was the only decision that pretty much set you behind the other runners, because 4 of you were all pretty even throughout, so that all 3 of them did, in fact, once they found the bow, they left, and Mirrodin took care of Eastern before, and of course found the hammer there, which I called, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can blame Rambler for that.
So the big problem was that I miscounted my items in Eastern, so I was going under the assumption that there was nothing left.
Oh, yeah, because you were already in there.
Yeah, I had been there, and I was not paying enough attention to the chest, third chest, and didn't catch what it was, and yeah, just miscounted. And the other big problem was that I completely forgot about Mireshed before I did Aga, and realized it on my way to Pod. So I was kind of itching to get back and check that to make sure I didn't do Aga unnecessarily.
Yeah, having one of those kinds of things hanging over your head can definitely get you flustered. I've definitely been there.
But yeah, I mean, it was kind of a crazy seed, but not the worst. Yeah, just a couple decisions here or there. It cost me a lot of time.
Well, yeah, you all played really well overall. You know, solid execution all across the board. Just you know, times were just different routes as always happens. So yeah, GG's to all for you.
Yeah, basically what it came down to was Zelda made the correct decisions at the right time. Dwayne did a lot more overworld checks. Well, I think Zelda did more overworld, Dwayne did more dungeons, and because of that, Dwayne was able to, you know, have the sword upgrades. But in the end, it ended up sending him further back overall.
Yeah, it's kind of fell down the Cane of Samaria rabbit hole that led to nothing in the end.
Yeah, but at least you went up knowing, you know, there was only one item that could screw you over against tower as opposed to 6.
Yeah, I had that going for me, right? I was hoping to find it on that right side. That would have been a nice bonus.
If it was, you would have been like way ahead of everybody.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Cane of Samaria.
This is not even close if it's right side.
Where was the cane?
On blind.
Oh, okay.
Pendant Thieves Town boss.
Jeez.
Oh, wow. Were there sword upgrades? Was there sword upgrade in Thieves Town as well?
There was one in Thieves Town upstairs. The other one was in Mimic Cave, which was Cane of Samaria blocked. So that does it for this seed. A very fun one. Chat got what they wanted, kind of, with the it being an Agahnim required seed. But yeah, it was definitely a fun race to watch. GG's against Zelgadistan for winning the race. GG's to all 4 runners. Go ahead and give them a follow here on Twitch.
Yeah, thank you, and GG's to everyone. This was a fun race.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And LT, great job on commentary, man. You were awesome.
Thank you. Great jobs to you as always. Yeah, that was a really fun one to watch. Super interesting. And yeah, thanks for putting your bodies on the line for all of us to watch you, and great job to the runners.
All right, so on behalf of our 4 runners and Eltrug and everyone here at Speed Gaming, my name is NY Rambler. We have another open race for you. It's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I think it's open. And then I gotta see what the other one is. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock we have open with Overworld Glitches legal. We have an Overworld Glitches tournament coming up as well. If you want to sign up for that, that'll be the 2 p.m. Eastern Time race tomorrow at the 9 p.m. This spot will be standard.
Yeah, watch that one if you want to see how broken this game is.
Oh yeah,
it gets pretty crazy, and the logic accounts for how broken it is. So it's really fun to watch.
Yeah. The good news is you get the boots in the first chest. So there you go. If you don't like bootsless seeds, play Overworld Glitches. You're guaranteed to get the boots because you're going to need them to do all the glitches. All right, guys. Real quick, we'll just shout out some more people that finished. Dio Games, 15th place, 153.42. Hayfield Bay, 16th, 154.53. ZZZ Cube, 17th with a 156.20. Plasma Kappa, 18th with a 156.43. And P-Train 24, 19th with a 157 flat. All right, guys. We're going to sign off here. Stay tuned for follow all the speedrunning channels, speed gaming channels. Also, tomorrow, the tournament's still going on. And 2 pretty important matches. 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Christos Owen versus Kyung 92, Game 1. At 8 p.m. tomorrow, Game 4, Game 3 after Game 3 was tie. Game 4, the top 8 match between Zero Rush and ALG Andy on Speed Gaming 1, 8 o'clock. Your commentators for that will be Adiron Egrick and Slim Kirby. Do not miss that race. And Dragon Strike gets 20th place, 159.21. All right, now we're signing off. Sorry, Fiesel. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Catch you all next time.